We'd like to begin by acknowledging the traditional owners of the land on which this project is created, the Wurundjeri people of the Kulin Nation. We would also like to pay our respects to elders past, present, and emerging. Settle down and gather round for another tale. In the world of Nua, where time has carved and cultivated a magical utopia of wonder, a small group of adventurers unlock the deep mysteries of the land, its people, and themselves. Welcome to the Down Under Dungeon podcast. Charity's logbook. Today I began my great betrayal and Mother Yellen's great plan. Leaving the Haligast and slaughtering those grotesque fungal entities brought me no joy. Subterfuge is one of the sins of the Priory, an institution maligned by its insatiable need for compliance and servitude. I am grateful that the Mother has shown me true ideals and aspirations, how gods can be tools for mortals and not the other way around. And sometimes unpleasantries are the necessities of progress. I truly wish the Haligast the best for their journey, and with my maps they are sure to at least make it to the surface of Mayella. I must admit, I am fallible and somewhat wavered in my convictions upon the journey here. Holly and the crew were aspiring to new heights on a journey that will exist beyond the influence of Nua, perhaps even beyond the mortal coil itself. But abandoning the world I seek to change will bring me no peace, no comfort. Ever since my days as a fledgling at the Starlit Conservatory, I was taught the limitations of my world, what magic can and can't do, the requirements needed to complete spells and hexes, laws to uphold, ranks and seniority to respect. For years, wizards toil and study just to command mastery over the simplest spells, but not clerics. Through devotion, they command the will of their celestial channels and walk with the assurance of the divine. No matter how much a wizard studies, even with the aid of immortality, they will never claim this right. And so, I left the conservatory for the Priory, armed with the knowledge most acolytes do not possess, the limitations of magic in the world. Well, that is, most acolytes. Yellen, back when she was my sister, also saw through the haze of reality to the workings of the world. And yes, although we devoted ourselves to the gods of Sky, we also devoted ourselves to discovering the parameters of that devotion, its boundaries and limitations. If the Wellspringers have to fall for us to realise our gain, so be it. It won't be the first obstacle we have had to eliminate in our path to righteousness and reinvigoration. And if Yellen succeeds in her endeavours, they certainly will not be the last. Hail the Archons of Wind and Rain.
How hot were those twin vampires last week?
Oh, God.
I can't believe one of them was called Kyle. I can't believe Kyle. Kyle the vampire. I can't believe one of them was called Carlisle.
I mean, it's so brave of M to come out as the biggest Twilight fan.
It is. Honestly, we respect your bravery.
How dare you bring my artistic license so low as to that of Stephanie Myers and those fucking producers?
I did make M watch the full Twilight series.
I got 2 movies in and I said to Dan, I'm like, do I have to watch the rest of it?
Oh, please. You were like, let's put on the third one right now because it's so bad that it becomes good again.
And yet you liked Wicked.
We're cutting that out. That's just not even fair.
And the tyrannical rule of Emerson continues.
Yeah. And will continue to do so.
Until season 2.
Speaking of tyrannical rule, the Wellspringers have been reeling from their revelations regarding Charity last episode. And although they know that she's up to something, I'm not sure they know quite the extent to what is happening. But it doesn't look good.
I mean, she used to be a wizard. She used to work at BNT Aurum, so she's up to something sneaky.
I never trusted that goddamn bird.
Who calls a crow's nest an owl's nest anyway? It's like, come on.
She has a fear of kenku. Oh my god, if we see her, someone has an illusion of kenku.
She will be like eating birds.
It's not bird racism. It's just crows eat owls' eggs, so that's part of it.
Oh my god, are kenku stealing Charity's children?
No, that was the basis for her fear. I bet there'd be some like owl and children's story time or something. I don't know. Don't read too much into it. She doesn't like crows. Well, we descend back onto the Oculus Observatory. It is the wee hours of the morning as you begin to prepare. What are the Wellspringers doing and what is going through their head as they prepare for this last push in an attempt to liberate Lysandra's father?
As everyone's kind of waking up, Louis wants to sort of rouse them, get everybody stretched and limbered up, get some extra temporary hit points, and use her inspiring leader feat to do some aerobic stretches. Get everything going and moving nice and fluidly so no one pulls a muscle or does anything silly. So we're going to each get 11 temporary hit points to start the day off.
Does Pud get those temporary hit points?
The wording of this is choose up to 6 allies, including yourself, that can see, hear, or understand you within 30 feet. So yes.
Yay!
Fuck yeah. I don't want to summon Promi too early because he only lasts a couple hours, so he doesn't get to limber up today.
That's okay.
Just Pud doing yoga. Great.
I'm picturing it like the he's doing like specifically the Animal Crossing morning stretches.
Yeah!
Cool dudes.
It's great. Yeah, Denis making breakfast for everybody, doing eggs and heart for Lysandra. Very excited to have her back, and just making everybody a balanced breakfast so that we're all full of nutrients for our life-risking escapades.
Beautiful. Feng will pull out another present from his bag that dates all the way back to episode 3.
Oh.
I know you love me pulling out these things, DM, but when I found the beans, I actually also found a potion of resistance. I've got no clue what it does. So I'm going to hand it over to Louis, who is probably the most fragile out of all of us, and say, hey, I don't know if this will come in handy, but bottoms up.
Thank you. Can I do like an Arcana check or something to work out what it does, or do I just drink it?
Potion of Resistance just gives you resistance to 1 damage type that you roll for an hour.
Okay.
Okay, maybe not yet.
Yeah. Once we're through the gates.
Yes.
Lysandra is chowing down on eggs and heart from Denis and is going to summon her echo next to her and look to the rest of the Wellspringers. So, what's the plan?
Well, we're going to need a very big distraction, and I seem to remember us making a very big friend recently.
Feng will ask, but don't you think that we probably need to save Uagadugu for, like, proper redemption, like saving us if we need it, as opposed to distracting so we can get in?
To be honest, Feng, I think this will be saving us. It will be distracting everyone to allow us to get in, and in a way that is saving us.
Okay, that's a good point. Feng will hold up the Uagadugu dust is what I've written down.
It's just a small volcanic stone.
Okay, sweet. And say, I know that I can use this to talk to him, so I guess just let me know when I should call him.
I think we should call him as we are about to go in.
Okay.
You know, so that we'll get to the plaza and scope out the joint to make sure we pick the opportune time, and then we go.
I could also skywrite and draw my face in the sky, and that will make him... I made that plan too, just in case we lose this volcanic stone.
It's a good backup.
Thank you.
A very good backup.
Just so that the audience knows.
Well, forgive me if I'm wrong, but doesn't he have to come all the way from the bottom of the mountain up?
Yeah.
Does that mean we need to give him a bit of time?
Yeah, maybe we should call him as soon as we start making our way over to the covered keep.
Okay, sounds like a plan. You've all got your health potions, yes?
Yes.
Oui,
Yes,
good.
sir.
Thank you.
Emery cleans up after breakfast and looks at you all and says, don't be expecting any help once you're in there. It would do no good for the cause for all of us just to die for a couple of foreigners. Please don't take offense to that. We have been around a long time now.
Louis responds and says, completely understand, no hard feelings. Thank you for everything you've done, and I hope what we do here can help further the cause's ends to repay you.
How are the Wellspringers proceeding?
I'm scared. I can't believe we're at the end. What the fuck?
God.
Denis has got Pud stowed in his backpack, ready to go should things go bad.
Feng tucks the lamp with Promi inside under his cloak and casts a 2nd level Pass Without Trace, so we've all got a +10 to stealth. I think we're going to need that. I don't want to use too many spell slots because something tells me that we're going to need them.
Can Lysandra look out the door of the observatory and see if there is anyone sort of right there that's going to be a problem, like doing a perception check or something like that?
You can give perception checks as you move through the city. That's fine. Let's just get those stealth checks first.
Let's do it, team.
We got this,
So it's
guys.
plus 10 from the pass of that trace?
Yep.
Cool.
Feng got a dirty 20.
Lysandra got a 13.
Denis got a 34.
Louis got a 23.
What is the average on that?
How'd you get a 13?
3.
Oh.
And a perception check from you, Lysandra.
Sure thing. That's a 7.
I think the gravity of the situation definitely is clouding your mind in this moment, Lysandra, and you are just too busy contemplating the actual scope of what you're about to do to actually calm your nerves and look out, and you are just following the rest of your party as you move through the city. It is mid-morning at this point, and so a lot of the stalls and houses begin opening up. You see moon elves watering like these exotic plants on their balconies and signaling to each other very politely, very stalely. And all the while you are dodging the looks from these hovering arcane eyes that permeate throughout the city. Because you're moving stealthily, I think you're moving a little bit more slowly, just trying to hug to the side streets, wait for people to pass, etc. But after a while, you do appear at the perimeter of the central plaza and the covered keep. You see your friend the dire troll is still there, standing in front of the bridge, loyal in their duty. What is it you do now?
Feng is going to use this moment to cast a Produce Flame cantrip as he summons some fire in his hand and sprinkles, I guess, the volcanic rock into the fire to try and start talking to Uagadugu. Are you there? Can you hear me, Uagadugu?
You see the volcanic rock melts into magma in your hand, Feng. Creating this small shimmering lava pool, and in the reflection you see the visage of your old acquaintance Uagadugu, the elemental of fire, and he looks like you caught him unawares, like he's just been he just has to check something on the stove, and after a couple of minutes he goes back and says, yes, Feng, what can I do for you?
Did you just change your voice?
No, no, I didn't. I am Uagadugu, the elemental of fire. Speak now.
Anyway, we'll address that later, but I was just wondering if you could maybe help us out. We're about to sneak into the covered keep, and we could maybe use a big distraction.
Oh, you mean the center of the caldera where I was produced from?
Yeah, you know it well.
I don't know, Feng. It's quite a triggering place for me to continue.
Denis gonna pipe up and say, "There's a bit of soup in it for you, big fella."
Yeah. Look, liquids, not real. Not.
I've got jerky soup.
Okay. Look, again, I think you're just deflecting from my trauma and diminishing it a little bit.
Hey, there's no better way to overcome your trauma than by going back to the source of it and beating it head on.
Beating what exactly? My trauma?
Yeah, fight the mountain.
Fight the mountain. And that'll help?
Yeah.
Very much so.
It's never too late for redemption, kiddo.
Right, but I thought my redemption would be much more profound than beating up a mountain.
No, I totally agree. I'm also a bit confused, but I think if you do this, then we will be able to bring a little bit more free will back to the Umbra Isles, and you will then maybe be able to forge your own path to your own form of redemption.
Denis is also going to offer, I think perhaps in your pursuit of redemption, you are forgetting what redemption actually is. You do not need to redeem yourself in the eyes of yourself. You need to redeem yourself for others, You do not need to know why this is going to help us, but we are telling you that it will. Please, we got you.
And who says it needs to be profound? Sometimes simple is better.
Simple is better. Alright, I'm coming through, and you see, you see the disc of magma on your hand starts to expand and drip and fall onto the ground.
Oh, right now.
Oh, no, what? Oh,
well, yeah,
shit.
I mean, seize the moment.
No, yep, that's fine, yep.
Go.
Wellspringers, go.
Get out, clear the area. Good, let's go.
Feng summons Promi.
In panic, Feng summons priority.
We now turn to Bo and Dale in the middle of the plaza, who just kind of stand there in shock and awe as one of the side street just starts to catch fire at the end of the plaza. As people start fleeing from it, he's going to make a perception check. Still not great on that whole perception check. Begins like sweating profusely. Wellspringers, what are we doing?
I mean, I think that we're gonna wait and see, like, how many, if the guards come out, and once they're done, we'll try and sneak on past them.
Yeah, we're hoping that Uagadugu will draw as many people and guards out of the covered keep as possible, even hopefully draw the troll away. Yeah.
Wonderful. You see, this is the middle of the morning. The flames start to lick the sides of the buildings at the end of the plaza, and the ground of Caldera City begins to rumble and shake as the fiendish form of Uagadugu pulls himself out and goes and does like a big stretch like a dog.
And cracks his back.
Cracks his back for sure. Takes a big gulp and looks out onto the plaza of the covered keep and goes, okay, Uagadugu, you got this, you got this, you got this, you got this, you got this. And begins to stride forward into the plaza as like shrieks and screams permeate through the city. You see Dale and Bo raise their club and step forward, and Bo says, wow, okay, too much. You're gonna need to back it up. That's way too hot. And you see Uagadugu, who's almost got like tunnel vision now, is like, I've recently been told that I am my own blockage to my own personal development. I'm sorry, but I cannot allow you to stay here. And you see the troll, 4 eyes go wide as this elemental of fire begins to approach them. Dale picks up the enormous club, turns, and then bashes 3 times on the metallic structure behind him, and a ringing permeates out through the middle of the plaza through the city, and you start to hear another set of rumbles coming from deep within the palace. I'm going to need, that's a very good distraction, so you'll be rolling d12s for this. I'm going to need everyone at the table, so there's 4 of you. You all get to roll a d12 each to determine how many guards are called out. There's a modifier to this, so it's not just 4d12, but...
Okay, let's do it.
Denis rolled a 1.
So did Feng.
Louis got a 4.
Lysandra got a 5.
Wow.
11.
You see about 24 guards ascend from the center of the covered keep and begin rushing over the bridge. They take their places behind the dire troll. Some of them look like they've just been caught unawares. A few of them are clearly like initiates from the Gloom Legion who are like look after the castle because no one would ever bother going in there anyway. And you see that there is a lot of shaky eyes and boots as they go to stop Uagadugu. Uagadugu's not attacking them, but kind of like brushing them aside as he's trying to like center himself in the moment and try and like really take in everything. But they all go to attack him. They will lower their perception checks if you try to sneak past them. What are you planning to do?
Yeah, I think we're going to try and sneak past, even if I can use Promi to teleport each of us 15 feet past them. I know that's not very far, but if we can manage that strategically.
Okay, I'm going to say this. The party needs to, each of you individually needs to be a DC 15 stealth check. You do have pass without trace to get past the fray that's occurring here. Yep. If you get below a 15, you'll still make it through, but not unscathed, as you're essentially like entering the scrum of everyone just fighting everyone at this stage.
Yeah, so we might get hit, but not necessarily detected. Correct. Okay.
Let's do it.
Cool.
Wait, and did you say that? No, sorry.
Actually, I just want Feng to roll first, because if he gets hit, then he loses concentration on Pass Without Grade.
Not necessarily.
Oh, he might lose.
Well, then should everyone go for before Feng?
No, I'm just doing it for... Yeah, I'm doing it for stakes. Feng, you roll first. You're leading them in the Pass Without Trace.
That's a nat 1.
Oh no.
It's okay, not necessarily dropping concentration.
Feng, you enter this space and you get glanced in the side by a glaive. Uagadugu accidentally like stands on your foot and singes your fur.
Uagadugu, what the fuck?
Feng, shut up.
You take 11 points of fire damage.
I'll make a concentration check for Pass Without Trace. That's a 10. Thank God.
Everyone else can make me their stealth checks with the plus 10 from Pass Without Trace.
Denis got a 27.
Lysandra got a 23.
Louis got a 29.
All good. You are able to move through. Feng is the largest of you, so while everyone else is kind of moving between, like Feng's just in the way and is just getting collaterally hit. But you are able to move into the fray, and you're still using Promi to transport past the troll.
Yeah, if we can.
In a burst of fire, which is indeterminate from the rest of the magma and fire that is in this space, you appear on the other side of the troll and race across the bridge to the central platform.
As we arrive at the central platform, does it seem like the door that the guards have just come out has been locked behind them?
No, but you do see almost like a mouth closing. A portcullis gate is slowly starting to move across and bar your entry.
Denis starts booking it.
Jump in.
Lysandra's following.
Bonus action dashing, just...
Yep.
You all jump in, do like a superhero tumble through the portcullis.
Denis drops put and reaches under to grab him again and pull him back.
Yes. And you appear down the bottom of a spiral staircase into an audience chamber. And you see there are 3 different hallways peering off from this. This is how this heist is going to work. There are a total of 6 sub-levels before you reach the dungeons of the Covered Keep and Belial's Oubliette. The party must make a flat stealth check to keep up their disguise, but then roll a party survival check to make sure that they are making the right turns in this gloomy, opulent labyrinth. Lysandra, with your sword, you will get advantage on that roll.
Amazing.
If you fail your stealth check, it is not the end of the world, because if you are stopped, you may then attempt to make a social stealth check to avoid apprehension from the guards. So this could either be intimidation, persuasion, or deception. I need a survival check from you all to determine where to go next.
Feng got a 15.
Lysandra rolled a 22.
Denis got a 5.
Louis got a 17.
With those rolls, Denis, you are compensated. Lysandra, the corridor to the right, you feel your sword pulling you towards.
Lysandra's going to immediately turn and just start running down the hallway, pulling the party behind her.
Let's go.
I'm going to need a D6, please.
That's a 3.
Moving down a couple more flights of staircase, you see up ahead, before a large ornate archway, 2 gloom guards. Again, you assume that these guards might also be initiates, as they are less ostentatious than the gloom legionnaires you have seen and fought before. They seem to be sniggering and laughing at something before abruptly turning to you and straighten up. You have a split second to react.
Lysandra is going to pull her echo to the front of the Wellspringers and using thaumaturgy is going to try and intimidate them by saying, "Bow to your Lord Belial."
Make me either an intimidation or deception check.
Louis is going to give her a bardic.
Thank you. I'm going to roll an intimidation check. 15 on the dice, 5 on the bardic, and a +2 is 22.
22 will do it. You see these guards nearly shit themselves as you summon the shadow. One of them drops one of their spears and the other one starts to grovel on the ground as the other one looks at him curiously. But by the time they're able to gather themselves, you have moved on. I need another party survival check.
Feng got a 14.
Lysandra got a 21.
Denis got a 6.
Louis got another 17.
Lucky you've got your sword, Lysandra. The DC is 20. You're able to descend. I need another D6, please.
That's a 4.
You move through several antechambers until seemingly oblivious to the movements of a Wellspringers, a gargoyle nestled in a sconce in the hallway is tucking into what appears to be a tea sandwich. As you pass, the gargoyle wordlessly drops the delectable morsel, hoisting up the torch he was charged to hold, and peers quizzically at the group as they pass.
He's got a sandwich, right?
Had a sandwich, he dropped it.
Yeah, sorry, he had a sandwich, right? Alright. Denis, against his better judgment, is going to announce himself to the gargoyle and say, Bonjour, monsieur. I am the sandwich delivery man. I see that you have dropped your sandwich. Would you like to perhaps put in an order for another one?
What the fuck? A persuasion check, please? I'll give you advantage, but you have crap charisma.
All the more reason for the advantage. Natural 20.
Oh my god.
Bye, everyone.
My work here is done.
He crit on his sandwich delivery service, I believe is what you said.
Yeah, the important stuff.
Yes.
You see the gargoyle looks nervous and says, was there some kind of like staff meeting? Is there food in the staff room or something that I missed out on?
No. It's a company-wide policy. Belial is trying to give more back to his employees. As you know, he's a merciful Shadow Lord. And he has instituted Sandwich Tuesdays. So if you would like to put in an order for a new sandwich, we're very sorry that we made you drop yours. But, what would you like?
This is a trap, right? You're from HR or something.
No, monsieur. I am a...
No, I've heard this before. You offer me a sandwich, I take it, and next thing I know, I'm like dead or you know.
Look, man, I don't know what to tell you. I want to get you a sandwich, and then he's going to start pulling out, like, sandwich ingredients and start, like, making him a little sandwich. What do you want, man? Ham and mustard?
You see the gargoyle is just, like, ogling Denny with his mouth wide open, just absolutely unbelievable. Denny, you stay there making the gargoyle a sandwich if everyone else wants to continue on.
Wait.
Lysandra's going forward. She's not stopping.
Okay, let's go. Fuck.
God. Denny will catch up.
Okay.
I'm going to need a survival check, please, from everyone.
Do you want me to...
Yeah, you're still having a survival check.
Feng got a dirty 20.
Lysandra got a 21.
Lou got an 18.
Denis got a 13.
Denny, you have made an incredible sandwich. A sourdough rye, a little bit of a sweet pickle in there, like a really nice mustard. You hand the sandwich up to the gargoyle, who just starts eating it ferociously. And you turn to see that in your plight to satisfy someone's carnal culinary delight, you have lost your party. And you have no idea which way to go. You can go left or right. What would you choose?
Can Denis have a little chat with this gargoyle and ask, I seem to have lost my other fellow sandwich makers. We're on our way to deliver the prison guards some sandwiches. So could you just point me in the right direction?
You see the gargoyle rubs his temples like, I knew it, you were gonna put me in the prison.
No. Truly, I'm simply trying to deliver the same service that they've given to you, to your fellow employees who work in the prisons. I just need to know how to get there.
Okay. He indicates to you the second door down on the left. You are able to rejoin with the Wellspringers, but any save you make in the subsequent round will be with disadvantage.
So fair.
Such a good move.
Yeah, my 13s have been carrying us. So
Another D6, please.
That's a 5.
You move down this narrow hallway. You hear the panting from Denny and a smell of Dijon mustard behind you. At the end of the hallway, you notice a dead end. And when you turn to double back, I'm going to need everyone to make a perception check. Denny with disadvantage.
Feng got a 15.
Lysandra got a 15.
Denis got a 12.
Louis got a 19.
15 was the DC. You notice on the floor a thin covering of soot surrounding the central area of the hallway which you just passed through.
Do we get the sense that it means that there's like a pathway down? Can Feng see if Promi can go through the floor?
In the area where the soot is?
Yeah.
You see Promi waddles over to this area. A red-orange glyph pulses to life beneath him, expelling a black fire elemental. Promi needs to make a DC 16 dexterity saving throw.
Oh, Promi.
That's a 16.
Dexterous choke.
Dexterous choke.
He takes 8 points of fire damage on a successful,
Promy's immune to fire.
which he is immune to. You see this like black fire elemental like drags itself out of the ground, and Promy just stands there like beady-eyed, like cocking his head at it. The elemental eventually just loses interest and like sinks back into the floor, and a secret doorway is lifted from the side.
Oh shit, okay. Let's go.
Let's go.
You head down further into the castle. I need a survival check from the party, please.
Feng got a 19.
Lysandra got a 21 again.
Denis got a 9.
Louis got a 15.
Only one of you needs to pass. Thank God for Lysandra. That's a success.
Who would have thought that Amber would have been our save with such a roll?
Can't jinx this right now.
No, we have to celebrate it.
Another d6, please.
1.
As you move down the secret entrance, Feng, you notice something familiar. You hear from up ahead a nervous squeak that comes from a lawkeeper of the Athenaeum. It is not Carlisle, but another moon elf who's looking at you all with wide eyes and begins to tremble as you approach.
Feng will just say, it's okay, we don't mean you any harm. We're just gonna run past. Just don't say anything.
Give me a persuasion check, please, Feng.
17.
This woman looks as if she's on the brink of screaming, but you see she steels herself and looks down at the floor just to avoid all of your eye contact as you move forward. Thank God, because she was going to alert everyone around you.
As we're moving through this corridor, is there any kind of objects or things that are like unattached or something around that as we walk past Louis could get a hand on?
There are a few of these gargoyles, and it appears not all of them are animated.
Amazing. Louis would like to use her animating performance feature, just so we have this with us as we go, which hopefully we're here for longer than an hour. I have used this once before on the cannon of the Halligas ship in the Whirlworm tunnels, but we've been a little while from that, so I'm going to reread it. As an action, I can animate one large or smaller non-magical item within 30 feet of me that isn't being worn or carried. It uses a dancing item stat block. It shares my initiative count, and I basically just reach for one of the gargoyles on the wall, and as I touch it and kind of run my hand across its arm, it like jumps down and starts to kind of like run behind us as a little like gargoyle pal.
Feng's gonna point to the gargoyle, to Pud, to the shadow, to Promy and go, hey, we all have a friend.
We love friends. More people the better.
Let's go.
Survival checks, please.
Feng got a 26.
Lysandra got a 14.
Denis got a 3.
Louis got a 4.
Feng is definitely taking the lead now as you continue further down. Feng, I think you're almost following your nose and following your heat, as with every floor you get, things start to get hotter and hotter in here.
Yeah, I remember when we very first traveled together as a party. When we were making our way through the sewers, we often described Feng as like putting his nose to the ground and sniffing. It's been a long time since he's done that, but he's just going back to his roots and honing in on whatever he thinks Lysandra's dad would smell like.
He got the dog in him.
Yeah.
Feng's running like one of those horse girls.
Feng is a horse girl.
You descend a number of staircases, sections of which are smooth and sweeping, while others are jagged and disconnected by several steps, forcing you to leap down periodically. At the bottom of the staircase you see, hovering, an enormous arcane eye, identical to the ones patrolling the streets of Caldera City, but more ornate, as it's flecked with gold ore. Its unblinking purple iris begins turning towards you. You can all make a stealth check if you would like.
Has it been an hour since I cast Pass Without Trace?
No.
Everyone's got a +10. Feng got a 26.
Lysandra got a 27.
Denis got a 19.
Louis got a 29.
The DC is pretty high because even though Pass Without Trace obscures you, it's still an empty room.
Yep.
You make it halfway across until, Denis, you feel the lidless iris snap onto your position and it starts to glow.
Denis, feeling that presence suddenly alight to him, is going to quickly alert the party and like, I know I'm usually the stealthy one and I'm really sorry about it, but I'm pretty sure that Pud just farted and the eye has heard.
That's alright, and Lysandra's going to shoot over her Infernal Legacy once a day per use darkness spell over into the eye. It fills a 15-foot sphere with magical darkness for the duration of up to 10 minutes.
Wonderful. You throw up this darkness cloud enveloping the arcane eye. Whether it works or not, you're not going to be around to find out as you move through into the next room.
Fingers crossed.
You have made it to the very lower or upper floors of the keep. You arrive in a small antechamber where a staircase on the far side descends even further. But before it is an enormous amethyst, the size of Denis, mounted on a stone plinth in the center of the room. I need everyone here to make me a DC 15 charisma saving throw.
Oh.
They got a dirty 20.
Lysandra only got a 14.
Denis got a 15.
Louis got a 23.
Lysandra, your singular purpose to rescue your father is suddenly sapped away, and you just are looking into the facets of this purple crystal, and man, that would look really good in your room on the Halligast. And you are compelled to grab the crystal.
Can we see this happening?
You're running through this space. It's not like you're stopping to understand what it is. As you entered the room, the magical effect took hold.
Yeah, I guess Lysandra's going to go and try and grab the crystal.
You reach out and touch the crystal, and again you feel the similar sensation as this purple ichor drips from the amethyst and seeps into your arm and into your blood vessels. Unfortunately, there is no save required, and you suffer the poisoned condition again, Lysandra, unfortunately.
And there's nothing I can do about that.
It was the charisma save, not the poison.
Yeah.
Lysandra has advantage
I've got
against being
advantage
poisoned.
against being poisoned and resistance against poison.
But it's the charisma save was not the poisoned condition. Like, that's not saving for the
Right.
poison.
Is there a way to save from it once I'm already poisoned?
No.
Yeah. Yeah, cool.
I'm gonna try and get some spell slots out of you guys.
Man.
And you all appear on the other side of the room, and Lysandra's doubling over, coughing again. As soon as you touch the crystal, Lysandra, your will and desire is completely left.
Yeah.
Seeing this, Louis is going to reach out, touch Lysandra on the shoulder and be like, we need to get through this, come on kiddo, please. He's going to cast Lesser Restoration.
Thank you very much.
You negate the poison.
Don't go touching crystals.
Not planning on it.
Tell yourself that.
Already got enough of my own.
You appear, panting and breathless, at the end of a sweeping hallway, at the end of which you see an opening of nothingness of the caldera. Swaying in the space is an enormous iron cage, presumably used to lower down into Belial's oubliette. This is also presumed by the two Gloom Legionnaires, decorated in finery and carrying each enormous black pikes, the tips of which appear to be dripping in some sort of necrotic energy. As they see you appear, they say, "Halt! Who goes there? No one is permitted entry this far down."
Lysandra is going to walk up in front of the party, holding her sword with her shadow next to her, and is just going to stare down these Gloom Legionnaires and say, "Hail the beckoning dawn."
Give me a persuasion check with advantage.
Yes. 16?
The two guards shoot you quizzical looks and then quizzical looks at each other, but behind their helms you can't really tell. And nonetheless, they step aside slowly to permit you entry into the iron cage.
Fuck.
Oh my gosh.
Let's go.
Yeah, Lysandra's just going to lead the Wellspringers in.
It's a pretty tight... Okay, let's do a roll call here, because we have 4 PCs and 4 summoned assistants. We have...
Chromie can fly, so can the gargoyles.
The shadow doesn't really take up space. It's a shadow.
I mean, it also hits people though, so
Well-
it's clearly physical enough.
Yes, but I feel like that we can,
It's cramped in there.
Yeah.
Can Hood fly as well?
Hood can fly.
Ah, so all the summons can fly.
Just hovering around her
Yeah.
face like a little, mobile.
They're our spirit guardians.
That's really funny. The party spirit guardians that are just 4 randos.
The cage begins slowly winching down into the tip of the covered keep. It appears to be a set of ancient ruins, shackled to the keep itself, dangling over the dark abyss beneath it. As you are so close to achieving your goals, what is going through the Wellspringers' minds in this moment? Denny, we'll start with you.
As we're getting closer to this dream of Lysandra's of liberating her dad, I think Denny casts his mind back to Bien Tiorum, where his own dad is in a different type of shackles, but is also imprisoned in this world, and starts to think that anything is possible. You know, Denny's never really been able to affect too much change in the world, but, you know, he's now in the bowels of the Shadow Keep, the Belial's covered keep, and, you know, if he can do this, maybe he can stand up to some immortal bureaucrats.
As they get deeper and deeper, Louis is kind of looking at how close they are to this goal and to what lies ahead. And with everything all the way from Laladrud to the Stone Sentinels, all the spirits and everything that's changed, she looks to the people around her and thinks, if there's anyone that can carry on a legacy, that can make a legacy, it's these people.
Feng is honestly just thinking about their mission, that the fact that they are close, hopefully, to releasing Lysandra's dad, and them being successful as a party, being able to help others kind of proves to him that, you know, he was right to pull these people together in the first place, drag them off that carriage all the way back in Laladrud, and think, you know, if they can do this, maybe they will be able to stop Yellen, maybe they will be able to help Laladrud after all, and even help people like Frida who have been destroyed because of people like her.
Lysandra is, I think, finally understanding why the people in her life, like her mother and Yellen and everything like that, are powerful people, Holly even, powerful people that have chosen their own path, chosen their own freedom. And I think in this moment, being so close, understands, I guess, the liberating feeling of it all, and is hopeful for what's to come after this, and that is filling her with so much determination for whatever comes ahead, no matter what, and she just feels ready to take on whatever is thrown at the Wellspringers' way.
As the contraption halts, you find yourself in a long corridor of cells, Belial's oubliette. Iron bars flank your left and right in the permanent gloom, and you hear moans and groans and undecipherable haunting sounds emanating from the cells within. I'm going to need everyone to either make an investigation or insight check.
Just to clarify, are you saying ruins or runes?
Ruins.
Okay.
Like, this is an old structure.
Yeah, all good. Alrighty.
Feng got an 11 insight.
Lysandra got a 15 insight.
Denis got a 17 investigation.
Louis got a natural 1 for an 8.
Oh, ouch.
Yikes.
As Feng summons some fire to give you all to see, and you all are very overwhelmed in this moment, Denny, you're able to, like, pick through the noise. You hear from the gloom a rustle of feathers, the clicking of talons on stone, and familiar cooing sound that you've only heard from Promi before, but Promi's with you now.
Denny is going to go to the back of the party, put his hands on Feng's back and push him forward and say, "This one's on you, big fella." It's kind of like push him towards the clicking sound that Denny's pretty sure he knows what it is, but...
As the Wellspringers move down the hallway, in the cell to your right, you see, perched in the corner on a rusty iron bar, an enormous phoenix. Its burgundy and gold feathers appear faded, and where fire should burst from its plumage, only puffs of black smoke swirl. Watery, black, beady eyes watch you all carefully as Promi begins to, like, jump up and down in excitement.
Pud mimicking is also jumping up and down with excitement.
You see there is no lock, and as you touch the iron bars, they swing open without protest.
Feng just walks in and almost reaches out to the phoenix, puts his hand out, doesn't even say anything.
The phoenix nuzzles its beak into your palm before exploding into bright and brilliant flames. Standing in the place of the ancient phoenix stands the turtle Merle, High Druid and emissary of Tuin, the ancient turtle that has existed well before the creation of Nua and the Concord Dawn. The turtle looks up at you, Feng, and says, "Ah, Firekeeper, at last you've arrived."
You must be Merle. What the fuck is going on?
You see, Merle obviously is understanding your confusion, Feng, and holds both of his hands up and says, "It is up to the emissary of Tuin to explore all the natural faiths of Nua, and I too was curious of the flight of the first phoenix, and so I followed its trail as you did, eastward to the land of shadow. The journey almost killed me till I was rescued and nursed back to health by Lord Belial himself. He told me of the phoenix and the wrath of the Fae, and I had no reason to believe he was lying. You remember, Feng, I was there at the signing of the Concord Dawn and saw firsthand how capricious the Fae can be in their whimsy. And sending a phoenix to rebirth Shadowfell might have been seen as some sort of perverse kindness."
Feng's thinking about the fact that he's promised to spread the phoenix flame all over Nua.
This truth destroyed me, Feng, as it taints the very foundation of Nua itself and all the teachings of the land that flows from it. How can I preach life, renewal, and the natural order when half of that land was condemned to death and darkness, disconnected from the cycle, stagnant, rotting?
If Belial healed you, then why are you in the prison? Why were you a phoenix?
I take on the form of the phoenix because I understand its magic. Feng, are we just when our morals and belief extend only to that which we see and perceive? The phoenix power is not in its eternal fire, but the symbol it represents. Feng, your coming is the destruction of the world, yes, but only the world through the eyes of the wildfire druids, corrupt Jarls, and vengeful Fae. It took me centuries to realize my true pursuit, and by then it was too late. But I know that you are wise enough now to hear it too.
The phoenix cry I've been hearing has been you.
Yes. Do not find the phoenix, Feng. Be the phoenix. Do not seek some acceptance or praise on high from some immortal bird beyond the cares of the mortal coil. Be its light to those around you. Guide them, lift them up. You will gain no greater wisdom than that from which you can glean within yourself, as long as you have the courage to see it.
I think Feng kneels down, looks at Promi, looks at his own reflection in the flickering flames, and says, "But how do I know if I'm worthy of something like that? How do I know if I'm the one that's meant to do that?"
Do you think I am worthy just by virtue of my unaging body? Do you think Belial is undeserving? I do not blame him, truly. None are above ambition and machinations. We constantly struggle to see where the means justify their ends, but few have the foresight to see the consequences. By isolating the Umbra Isles, the Fae Court has created an enemy that will threaten Nua, the realm they sought to protect and cultivate in their image. If war is coming to the realm, let us only hope something better, something more robust, takes its place. You know as well as I that change is the way of the world, but how that change manifests is up to us. Well, at least you, if you decide to change it. And Merle holds out his old hand, and you see the scaly turtle flesh like sagging from his bones over just the centuries of age.
Yeah, of course I want to help bridge Nua and Shadowfell. I've said that I'm going to bring daylight here, and that's what I'm going to do. And as he says that, Feng will reach out and grab Merle's hand.
Feng, as you touch Merle, you feel a warmth within you, one of surety, of confidence. But you feel the High Druid before you begin to fade, but also your own druidic power surge. You are now able to turn into the manifestation of the Eternal Phoenix, expending one of your wild shapes to do so.
Okay.
For the rest of the party, Merle imparts the last of his will unto you all as well, giving you the benefits of a short rest.
Hey.
I'll now hand you your stat block.
Ooh, we love when we get the stat block.
For the audience back home, this works as any other beast that Feng turns into, except is much more powerful. And there are also limitations on the amount of times he can actually summon it. But I'll hand you this now.
That's so cool.
Oh, shit. That was a lot.
What's going through your mind, Feng, as Merle imparts his last wisdom onto you?
I think Feng has been toying a lot with this idea of eternal life and legacy and what that means for the wider world of Nua, and whether he would even return to Nua in the first place. But I think now he's wondering whether he becomes a beacon of light, of connection, almost allowing a bridge to open not only to different realms like Shadowfell, but even the Fey Court, any other realm that still exists out there. Because it's clear that Nua cannot do this alone, and if it continues to try, it will just keep repeating history.
You all stand here in silence, and Lysandra, you begin to feel the sword at your side begin to shake.
She's going to pull it out and point it out in front of her and follow it.
The sword is pointing to the cell at the very end of the oubliette. A huge, rusty, wrought iron lock on the bars.
Denis gonna see the lock and, not really understanding anything that's happened here so far, is gonna go, okay, that I understand. And is gonna start going to work on this lock.
Give me a Thieves' Tools check.
Certainly. That's a 15.
Lysandra, you feel your heart in your throat as Denis starts to work on this lock. Denis, after about 2 minutes trying to finagle this, you realise it's just mostly rusted over, and so you just hip and shoulder bust it off.
And you put as like a bottle opener.
That's so good. Yeah, you completely bust this lock open. The door swings forward, and the gloom of an enormous cell is spread out before you all.
Lysandra's just going to walk in. She's not going to make any checks, she's just going to go forward. I think she is, like, full of nerves to meet this person that she's been talking to for months now.
You walk down, and with Feng's ambient light, I think now as the Phoenix reincarnate, Feng is just always glowing at some point. You see, finally, the withered form of Duma, bound by shackles to the far wall. His head is lolling onto his chest, and he mutters under his breath.
Lysandra's going to run straight over and try and hack off these chains, try and cut him free.
You rush forward and reach out your hands to untie Duma, and your fingers slip through the incorporeal form of your father and the non-existent chains binding him.
I fucking knew it.
He looks up into your eyes, Lysandra, equal parts sorrow and joy, and whispers, "Forgive me, my child, for deceiving you. But I promise it will be the last selfish thing I do." The walls of the cell crumble around you as the illusion is dismissed, revealing an enormous vaulted throne room. The ceilings and walls are pure, transparent crystal, allowing the occupants of the audience chamber to peer into the depths of Mount Admonition itself. You turn behind you to see the oubliette disappeared. There appears to be no way out. Erected behind a high stone chair, simple yet ancient in its construction, an enormous circular contraption with glyphs and ruins hums with an intense arcane energy. Seated upon the stone chair, you see the Shadow Lord Belial. The man is gaunt and frail. His opulent black silk tunic and cloth of gold cloak do much to hide his diminished form. His grey, wispy hair, stubbled chin, and bloodshot eyes still look at you with the intense love of Duma. He opens his hands wide in welcome. And that is where we will end our session.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Fucking God.
I feel so validated.
Yeah.
Saying for so long. It's Belial, guys. It's absolutely him.
I did text the group chat like maybe 2 days ago and was like, what if Merle's in the prison?
Yeah, and I was like, I agree, but we have no way to even investigate that because we've had no things pointing in that direction. But of course. Damn. I need
Oh my
a fucking
God.
nap.
Oh my God.
Stress.
I love how those two over there are just having like absolutely world-changing events happen while Denny and Louie are just chilling in the corner, just like do. I'm gonna hang out over here.
Yeah, I'm going to make Belial a sandwich.
I can offer single buttocks.
I mean, we did toy with the idea that Duma was Belial's shadow, that Belial was a shadow warrior like Lysandra, so...
Something still feels weird about it though.
Yeah, because it's a big trap.
Why is he...
No, I know that, but something still feels weird if like Duma's like, love and eyes and all of that are still there. But then there's also Belial, so something still feels weird about that.
Mate, your dad's toxic.
No.
You're cutting it off.
I don't believe it yet. We have to wait until next week. Come on, guys.
For the audience at home, I'm just sitting here nodding with the biggest shit-eating grin.
He's rubbing his hands together. It's full evil DM in the corner over here.
Well, I'll let you stew while I'll make a selfless plug for today. I'd like to plug another podcast which will have a lot of crossover in our audience. Two Dudes Watch Cartoons is hosted by my good friend Briz and his co-host Evan. The name is pretty explanatory for what they do. They watch cartoons and talk about them, from anime, blockbuster movies and animated limited series. Everything from One Punch Man to Arcane and Avatar The Last Airbender, the good one. You can look up Two Dudes Watch Cartoons on Instagram, follow their link tree and help support other new and upcoming businesses like us. So don't forget to follow us on our socials at Down Under Dungeon Pod or from our link tree. You can always join our Discord for even more discussion and conversation, especially reaching the end of the campaign. There'll be a lot up there. And make sure to tag us in any of your fan art. You can always reach us at downunderdungeonpod@gmail.com. And as always, if you're feeling generous, please leave us a 5-star rating on both Apple Podcasts and Spotify. And we will see you all next week.
Bye.
Bye.